Hi, this is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan. He's a Corgi. And we're here for another episode of Conversations with a Corgi. Oh, I've managed to get my Corgi on the cord again. There you go, Tris. And today, I just want to make the announcement that my computer guy has in fact uploaded to YouTube my TED Talk from a couple of days ago, and I'm going to start posting it around today on some of my groups that I'm in, and it's already on my website and on my Facebook pages, so people can watch it because I know a lot of people are interested. And Tristan's excited. He's so cute. He just sits there. He's so attentive. He's a good dog. So today I'm reminded of one thing that is in my TED Talk, dog hair of course, that I'd like to share with everyone who's watching, which is my sister is away at the Dogs Naturally conference in Chicago this weekend, and Linda Tellington and Eleanor Silverstein is with her, and they're at a Heart Math Institute summit happening in Cancun, Mexico. And so all these people I know are traveling and doing these really interesting things, which reminds me I'll be going away in a couple of weeks to New York for an event with my book. And so anyway, when we are away from home, we miss our pets so much. And how great would it be if we can all take our pets everywhere with us, but we can't. And sometimes it's because they're big, they don't like being in the car, maybe they've got other family members at home that they want to stay with. But what are the things that you can do when you're traveling and you're missing your pet? The most important thing, I think, is to bring along some pictures of your pet. And that's great because we all have pictures of our pets in our phones these days, and we don't have to carry around, as I used to, a little pack with rubber bands around it with pictures of my animals. So we have them in our phone. And one of the things that you can do is pick a time every day that you're going to connect with your pet. If you know that the only free time you might have is in your hotel room in the morning at 8 o'clock or something, or maybe it's at night before you go to bed, or maybe it's right around the time your pet eats dinner every day. But whatever that time is that you choose, I like to imagine that connection with my pet before I leave. So I spend a few minutes just sitting with him and imagining myself in a hotel room at 6 o'clock in the morning and just making that connection with my dog. And part of how you do that is with a Tellington T-Touch Heart Hug. And of course, this is in my TED Talk as well, but when we talk about these a lot, we've done lots of heart hugs. But I'll just remind you again, you imagine the face of a clock on your chest with the 6 pointing towards your feet. And then, I don't want to lose my Corgi, you Bisky stay. You cross your hands over your heart. I'm losing my dog. He's walking onto the table. Cross your hands over the heart, and you're going to imagine the face of a clock with the 9 on, I don't know which side this is because it's backwards and upside down. But anyway, imagine the face of a clock. So you're going to make a circle and a quarter starting at the 6 and coming all the way back around to the 9. And when I'm doing this with an animal and I'm away from him, I like to close my eyes and imagine that animal. Interesting, I just did the circle counterclockwise when I close my eyes. Pay attention to that. A lot of people do funny things with the other hand on top. So just figure out which way you like your circle and a quarter to go and do it that way. So what I like to do when I'm traveling and I'm away from my animal is not just imagine the animal and that connection, but to do something a little more. So I think about things I love about that animal, maybe 3 things as I do a heart hug for each one. And then I also think about 3 things that I'm grateful for with that animal, what that animal has brought to my life. And all of us can think of a million things we love and are grateful for about our animals, so that shouldn't be too hard. And you just do a series of these heart hugs, and it helps really relax you, bring you into your body, calm your emotions, and make a connection with your pet. And it's one of the best things that you can do when you're away from them. And I always like to look at their picture on my phone when I'm doing it. Give yourself a little time, because sometimes I get sad when I'm doing this because I love my dog so much and I might not be able to pet him. I also, of course, always travel with some kind of a Corgi, a picture, a necklace, a stuffed one, something to remind me of a Corgi. Of course, there's always Corgi glitter hair on everything. This is also something you can do when you've lost an animal. So many corgis have crossed the Rainbow Bridge in the last couple of months, and many of us have lost other animals as well. I've seen people who have lost their horses, which, as I've mentioned, is horrible because they live so long. They're such a part of your life for so many years, and if you don't have another horse, a whole lifestyle just ends suddenly. So again, you can do that heart hug and think about your animal and make that connection with him and imagine him being there with you as you make those circles with 3 things you love about him and 3 things that you're grateful for. So this is something I do to make a connection with my dogs and my horses who have crossed the Rainbow Bridge, even other animals I've known. There was a fox that I found in the road once and took care of. And of course we have the moose in the backyard. There's not much of him left. He's been dinner for a lot of guys. So anyway, and I do it to connect with my dog. Even if I'm just at work for a couple of hours and I'm not with him, I will do some heart hugs and remember him. And, you know, you might have to go to a private place at work to do this if you're in a place with a lot of people. But it's a really good thing to do to help you connect with your animal. And of course, you don't have to be away from your animal to do it. But when you're away, I think that idea of a heart hug, it almost feels like your animal is sitting next to you when you do it, because it really is a hug to yourself when you're doing the heart hug. And it feels like your animal is with you. So if you're traveling or missing your animal or your animal's crossed the Rainbow Bridge, try doing some heart hugs and thinking about things you love about your animal and things you're grateful for about your animal. Right, Tris? And if your animal's with you, you can put your hand on your animal's chest and you can do heart hugs with your animal. I don't know, you probably can't see any of this. I can see that we're at the bottom of our screen here. But as you do it on your animal, think about things you love about your animal. So try doing some heart hugs today to think about your animals or connect with the ones you have in your home or the ones that you've lost. And I'm going to be posting my TED Talk so that people can see it. So thanks for joining us today for this episode of Conversations with a Corgi. I am looking forward to all of the pet expos this winter, and luckily Tristan gets to come to those. Listen, my Corgi. He's going to eat some more of his doggy birthday cake today. He was a little skeptical at first. Had some kind of frosting-y stuff. Once he ate it, he liked it. Thanks for joining us today. Everybody spend some time doing some heart hugs to think about your animal. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us.